you typically want to start out moving your pawns. They're one of the only two things you can move at the start of the game. The knights move in an L, so they are the only piece that can hop over other pieces. Oh, that's fine. You want to start by moving your pawns, usually up 2 squares at the start, because that allows your bishop to get out into the game. You see how it now opens up all these squares? Now, pawns are cannon fodder, and they're only worth 1 point. So a bishop is worth 3 points. So if you move your bishop here, remember pawns captured diagonally. If you move your bishop here like this, then this guy would be able to take him, and that's not good. You want to hold on to your bishops. Don't let your pieces get taken, all right? That's rule number 1. So you want to move your pieces in a way that they can't be captured. So move this guy somewhere where he can't be taken. Good. Excelente. Ignore the computer guy saying hints. Okay, so the queen is your most powerful piece, but because she's so powerful, you don't want to use her too soon. If you moved her here, I forgot it's touchscreen. So if I move her here, this bishop would be able to capture her. You see that? Because it goes on diagonals.
Yeah.
So you don't want to move her there. But this bishop still needs to get out into the game. So figure out a way to get this guy out. Remember, bishops can't hop over other pieces. Right, if you move the pawn up 2 squares, then this bishop or the pawn can capture him. So you don't want to move it up 2 squares. But you can move it up. There you go.
It's in the basket.
What? Okay, we're just going to ignore that. Go ahead and do the same thing. Alright, now you can go ahead and move your bishop out into the game. And if you trade a bishop for a bishop, that's fine. If you move him here, he can be captured though. So be careful about where you move him. Good. Alright, so the center of the board, right here, is where all the action takes place. So you want to get your king away from the center. There's a special move in chess called castling. If you click 2 squares over, it swaps your king and your rook, and it gets him out of the harm's way. Now remember, pawns capture, click on a pawn, any pawn, they capture to the side like this. So anytime you have a chance to capture a pawn for a piece, that's a good trade for you. So see how he just moved his knight here? If you click on this pawn, yes, good. Okay, so now he moved his pawn up 1, and you're already up a knight. Here, if you want, the first goal of chess right now is to get all of your pieces off the back rank. So you still need to get this guy into the game, and then rooks are long range pieces, so you don't need to worry about them right now. But this guy still needs to get out into the game. If you click on him, you'll see which squares you can move him to. You need to go here or here. Typically, you want to put your pieces towards the center of the board. Alright? So you don't want to move them to the edge, especially knights. Very good, very good. Alright, he just attacked you. You see how he's attacking your bishop? He's threatening to capture it now. Can you capture his pawn with any piece?
Yep.
Then do it. Good. Now you got his pawn. Okay. Now you have some captures available if you want. But a bishop is worth 3 points and a knight is worth 3. See? You're up 4 points of material right now because you have a knight and a pawn and he has nothing. So you can capture the knight with the bishop, but can he take you back?
Yep.
Yeah, with the bishop. Right. Excellent. That's a 3 for 3 trade. You can make it if you want, but it's not necessarily like better for you. It's not worse, but it's not like I'm gonna like capture him. Think of the piece material count as elixir. You always want to have more elixir than your opponent, right? So, at this point, the rooks are the long-range pieces. If you click on it, you see how it can move across like this. It can also move all the way up the board like this, but like it can't hop over pieces. But if this pawn didn't exist, it would be able to go up here and even take that guy. So you want to put your rooks on open files where there's no pieces or where there's no pawns blocking them. You see how this pawn's blocking this guy from going up? Find the square you can move him to where there's no pawn in his way. Don't worry if there's pieces in the way. Pieces are easy to move. Get this guy to a square where there's no pawn in the way. Good! Oh, he's threatening. He moved his pawn up one, and he's threatening to capture your knight on the next move, and that would be a 3-for-1 trade, so you don't want that. Can you capture his pawn at all?
Yep.
You can actually capture with 2 pieces here. See if you can figure out which 2. So, pawns capture diagonally upwards to the side, so you would be able to take it with the pawn. And then your knights move in an L shape. They can go over 2, up 1, over 2, up 1, up 2, over 1, down 2, over 1. You can't move them here because that's where your king is. You can't move your piece into a square occupied by another piece, but you can move him up 2, over 1, and capture the pawn, or you can take the pawn with your pawn. Either one is an option here. Whichever one you prefer. Very good, very good. He retreats his bishop. And now, let's see. You are up 5 points of material. So, if you're ever up +5, the easiest way of winning is by trading pieces of equal value. So do you have anything that's like a 3-for-3 trade here?
Yep.
Go ahead and make the move. Ooh, good. Do you have any more 3-for-3 trades?
Yep.
Good. Make it. Excellent. Okay. Now, remember how you wanted to get your rook on the open file? Get this queen out of the way. Move her over. Yep. She's the most powerful piece on the board. She can do whatever she wants except hop over other pieces. Knights are the only ones that can do that. Now, this is going to be your first ever tactic, your first ever chess puzzle. Let's see if you can get it. If this knight wasn't in the way right here, right? Imagine he wasn't in the way. You see how this rook, he'd be able to go all the way down and take out the queen. If you can ever get your opponent's queen, you're going to win the game. So if you could get your rook over here, but you only get 1 turn, you can't get 2 turns in a row, you'd be able to take his queen. So is there any way you can move the knight and take something, or eliminate, like just get the knight out of the way, but also take something at the same time? Because remember, usually you'd have to worry about, oh, well, if I move the knight like here, and that means he would be able to take me with his pawn, right? But if you move the knight and he takes with the pawn, you get the queen, right? You see that?
Yep.
If he takes, then you take his queen. So, is there any piece, any place you can move the knight, click on him, where you can take a piece and get him out of the way at the same time? 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yep.
Go for it. Let's see what he does. Oh, what is the problem with him capturing your knight? Good. A rook is your second most valuable piece, but it does not compare to a queen. Excellente. Now look, you are up 7 points of material. At this point, now you can bring your queen out, move her. Now remember, your queen is your most valuable piece, so whenever you move her, you need to make sure whatever square you want to move her to, she can't get captured. So find a square you can move her to, get her closer to the enemy king. Doesn't have to be like right here, but get her out into the game where she can start going after this guy, because you're up 7 points of material. That means you can now go for mate. Good! Are there any pawns or pieces you can capture here with your queen?
Yep.
Alright, which ones? Tell me both. And then tell me which ones you should or shouldn't do.
I should do the one on the right since it's not protected by anything.
Good! Do it! You put him in check. So what check is in chess is the enemy king is under attack, right? And if you move a pawn, then obviously you would take the king and the game would end. So check is when the king is under attack, but he still has somewhere he can go. He actually only had one square he could go to, okay? So after he moves his king over, he's no longer in check. Whenever someone is in check, they either have to move the king, block the piece attacking the king, or take it out of the play. Now, if you capture this pawn, is that good or bad?
It's bad.
Good. Excellent. Okay. You're still up +8, so you want to trade equal things of equal value. Or actually, bring this guy, bring the knight in, see if you can get the knight closer to the king. Now, if you move him here, could he take you?
Yep.
But would you be able to take him back?
Yep.
So is that good or bad for you? Knight is worth 3 points, rook is worth 5.
It's a good move.
Go for it. Good. What did we just say? Good. Okay, at this point, you are supremely winning the position. The easiest way of doing this, see if there's any pawns you can take that you can't be captured back by. Good. Are there any... Now, here you have 2 options, alright? And I'm going to show you... We're going to take this so you can capture this pawn, right? And can he do anything about it?
No.
Right. But in chess, whenever you have a good move where you can take something, look to see if there's an even better move. Now, what's the difference between taking this pawn and this one? If you take this pawn, the queen, you see how she goes everywhere? She would be attacking the king. That's check. So he'd have to move his king out of harm's way. But then you would be attacking this rook as well. You see?
Yep.
He attacked your queen. He blocked the check by putting his rook in front of his king. Is there anything protecting the rook?
No.
Eliminate it. Okay. Now, the only piece he has left is this bishop. Okay. As long as your pieces are on light squares, you see, light square, this bishop will never, ever be able to attack your pieces. So you don't have to worry about them being captured. Now, your opponent is basically down and out. We have 2 ways of going about this. You can bring this guy out. Remember, they move vertically and horizontally. So you have to move him. If you want to get him close to the king, you have to move him to a place where there's no pawns blocking his path to the king. Which square is that? Excelente. Okay, he moves his pawn up 1. Figure out a way to bring the rook closer to the king. Good. Okay, now, before you make the move, is moving your rook here for a check a good move or a bad move? What say you? If you move your rook here for a check, is it good or bad?
It's a good move.
But you forget about this guy down here. He'd be able to come back and capture you. So you want to keep it on a light square. That's alright. This fools a lot of people because it's so far away. But you always have to keep in mind everything that's on the board. So, is there any way for you to attack this guy right now? With him. With the rook.
No.
Remember, here, click on the rook. Yep. You see how he can go all the way down here?
Yep.
Or he can go all the way across. So whenever he goes across, he'll impact all the squares down here. Like if you move him here, and imagine these pawns are in the way, he'd be able to do that. If you move him here, he'd be able to do that. But that's not that important. Your goal is this guy, alright? You don't have to worry about the king. So right now, the king can only move 1 square in any direction. The kings can't move into check. This would be an illegal move because you would take him. So that means the only square his king can move to is here. I'm going to. This is called the ladder checkmate. The queen pins the king to the edge of the board. He can never move off of this back. Oops. I'm gonna force him to go back real quick. Okay. The king can never move off of this back rank. Okay. That means if you bring the rook down to any of these bottom squares here, it's a checkmate. So all you have to do is figure out how to get your rook back here and check the king. It doesn't start with the check. You just have to maneuver your rook. Good! Oh! If you move your rook here, is it checkmate?
No. It's a bad one.
Good. Because he would take your rook with his bishop. So the bishop can only ever attack dark squares. So if you move your rook to a light square with the same idea, he won't be able to attack it. So which square should you move your rook to?
Either side.
Yeah, I mean, either one. You are now in check, and whenever you're in check, that means you can't move any piece. Your king is under attack. Now, a king can capture a piece as long as there's nothing defending it. Is there anything defending that bishop?
No.
Eliminate him. He moved his pawn up one. Finish him. Yeah, Coach Danny got bopped. All right, let's go ahead and play Coach Danny one more time. All right, I'll let you do this one a little more on your own. Remember, you want to start with the pawn so that you can get your bishop out into the game because they can't move anywhere at the start. Typically, you can start any of the pawns, but because all the action takes place here, you usually want to start with one of these two. And you want to claim space, so you want to move up two, not one, usually. So you can use either one you want. Doesn't matter. See how he responds. Are there any captures here?
Yep.
Eliminate him. Good. Okay. Now here, he could capture this pawn and check you, but is there anything protecting the bishop?
No.
Okay, so you'd be able to capture him. That's a 3-for-1 trade, so you don't need to worry about that. So continue on with your own plans. Get your pieces out into the game off the back rank. Usually you want to start with the knights first, bishop second, and then you get your king to safety. Good. Good. Is he threatening anything?
Nope.
Good. You can either get a bishop out into play, or you can get move a pawn so that you can get ready to get another bishop out into play. Either one. Excellent move. Are there any captures? What are you thinking here? If you take the knight, would he be able to capture anything?
No.
Don't forget about... yeah. But it's a 3-for-3 trade, so you can still do it if you want. If he takes your knight, would you be able to capture back with anything?
No.
Well, you have... If he takes your knight here, pawn's captured to the side, so you could take with the pawn, and she can move anywhere, so you'd be able to take with her. So now...
I thought you meant after...
Oh, yeah. So it's up to you here. You don't have to take him, but you can if you want. Or you can move one of your bishops for getting your pieces into the game. It's up to you. Get him off the board. Okay, now, remember how that bishop was threatening to take here earlier? See how the queen and the bishop combine to attack this square? See, they can both capture it. The king can only take something if it's unprotected. So if this queen comes down here and takes you, it's checkmate, because your king won't be able to move anywhere, and he can't take, because then the bishop would take him. So you either need to block the queen from getting to this square, or defend this square with a piece. Good. Force him to retreat. There are no threats. Continue your development. If you move the bishop here, that's called the fianchetto. It's a very, it's like a formation in chess. You put the bishop behind these 3 pawn fortresses. You don't have to do it, but it's a standard maneuver in a standard formation. It's called the fianchetto. Alright, he still has no threats. Now, if you take this pawn with your queen, could he take you back at all?
Yep.
Good. Alright, so we're ignoring that. Typically, whenever you get your knight and your bishop off the back rank like this, and you have the option to move your king over 2 to castle, that's what you want to do, because it gets him out of the center of the board. This is where all the action is going to take place, right here, in the center, all on these 2 files, E and D. So typically, you want to get your king out of the center of the board fast. Good. Okay, what are you thinking here? You can develop the bishop. Ooh, offer 3 for 3, offer 3 for 3. He ignored it. What do you think? Ooh. Good! 3 for 1 trade. Excellent. He didn't even take back. Good! Good!
Simple.
Okay. So, if you move this bishop anywhere, like, you see the rook would be able to take the queen. This is called a pin, right? If you move the bishop anywhere, the rook captures your queen, and that's no bueno. But the rook is also undefended. That means if you can move this bishop and force him to react to you moving the bishop instead of being able to take the queen, you can win the rook. Do you see any move that accomplishes him to force a forcing move that doesn't give him the chance to take your queen while moving the bishop? The only forcing moves in chess that you have to react to are checks, attacks on the enemy king. Good! Now he gets your bishop for free, but a bishop is worth 3 points. Good. Alright, the rest of this game is you. You are up 14 points of material. Good luck. No hints from here on out. You got him. That's a great move. Excellent. You force him to dodge. When you have this much, when you're plus 14 like this, you want to usually bring your pieces closer to the enemy king. So that involves the rooks, getting them into the game. Now, one of the most powerful things you can do with your rooks is getting 2 rooks on the same file. So it's called doubling the rooks up. You want to get this guy to this square, but have this guy somewhere higher up. Good! I mean, he gets 1 pawn, you're still at plus 13. That doesn't really change anything. Good! Way to recognize the rook was under attack. Excellent. I like that. What are you thinking here? What are you thinking here? That would actually be mate if the pawn couldn't take him. But don't worry about that. That was a good find. Nice. Okay. Now you are up so much material. I'm going to tell you how to make this easy. Eliminate this guy with your queen or your bishop. Eliminate the pawn with your queen or your bishop. Doesn't really matter which one. Just get rid of him. Doesn't have to be in one move. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now move the queen over one. And you're going to push this guy. Just move him all the way up the board. Watch what happens. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. I mean, way to be smart, way to be smart. Okay. Yep. When your pawn reaches the edge of the board, you're allowed to turn him to any piece you want. Now, obviously, you can turn it to any piece you want, but 99 times out of 100, it's just going to be one piece, the most powerful one. Good. Now you have two queens. Start checking him with your queens. Converge and close in. Ooh, capture and check. Even better, even better. Two birds, one stone. Bring the other queen in. Good. You want to get your queens closer and closer to him. Good. Now remember, a king can't capture a piece if it's protected. Good! Well done, well done. That was well done. Excellente. Okay.